In this top 10 video series, let us see in this video about top 10 bizarre mental disorders which are available in the world. So, number 10, Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is the name of the disorder in which a person becomes sympathetic to a person harming them in some way. It can appear in people who are sexually abused, raped, or kidnapped. The most famous case is that of Patty Hearst, a millionaire's daughter who was kidnapped in 1974. She not only ended up sympathizing with their cause, she ended up engaging in criminal activities with them. So, this is a 10th, which is a Stockholm Syndrome, is the name of the disorder in which a person becomes sympathetic to a person harming them in some way. So, what happened here? After kidnapping, she not only ended up sympathizing with their cause, she ended up engaging in criminal activities with them in this example. So, that's called a Stockholm Syndrome. Number 9, Lima Syndrome. Lima Syndrome is the opposite of Stockholm Syndrome in the captors become synthetic with the hostages. It is named after a crisis in Peru where several dignitaries were held hostage, including the future president of Peru and his mother. The hostages were released and the terrorists were all captured. So, number 8, Diogenes Diogenes syndrome. Diogenes syndrome is a disorder that leads to extreme self neglect, compulsive hoarding, often of animals, and reclusion. It is normally found in old people as it is connected in some way with senile dementia. Number 7, Paris syndrome. Paris syndrome is a disorder that affects mostly Japanese people. The disorder is characterized by nervous breakdown when visiting the city of Paris due to an inability to cope up with the culture shock. It is most likely that the tourists are unable to reconcile the perfect image of Paris shown by most films with the not so perfect city that exists in reality. There is even a 24-hour hotline for tourists suffering the syndrome. Number 6, Stendhal syndrome. Stendhal syndrome is a disorder in which a person experiences hallucinations, confusion, and a rapid heartbeat when in the presence of particular beautiful or famous art. It can also occur occasionally when people when they experience an especially stunning natural landscape. Number 5, Jerusalem syndrome. Jerusalem syndrome is the name of the disorder in which a person of a religion suffers psychosis like symptoms after visiting the city of Jerusalem. The disorder manifests itself as a delusion and obsessions usually related to religion. The majority of sufferers have been found to have previous histories of mental illness. Number 4, capture as delusion. The Capgras delusion is a bizarre disorder in which a person believes that someone they know, usually a loved one, has been replaced by an identical imposter. It often occurs in sufferers of schizophrenia, but it can also appear in people suffering brain injury or dementia. Number three, Fregoli delusion. The Fregoli delusion is the opposite of the Capgras delusion. In this case, a person believes that different people in their life is the same person who appears in a variety of disguises. It is named after Leopold Frigoli, who was able to make quick changes between scenes when acting on stage. Number two, reduplicative paramnesia. Reduplicative paramnesia is the belief that a location has been duplicated, causing it to appear in two places. Occasionally, the sufferer's believes an area has been relocated elsewhere. For example, the reduplicative paramnesia may think the hospital he was admitted to has now been moved to a different part of the country. So, number one, Cotard delusion. The Cotard delusion is an extremely rare disorder in which a person believes they are dead. In some cases, they believe that they are alive but lacking vital organs. It is named after Jules Cotard, who first described the disorder in 1880. So, these are the top 10 bizarre mental disorders available in the world.